Because a dandelion can be a weed that we pull and we poison with chemicals, or it can be a medicinal plant that we make tea out of, that we eat, that butterflies and bees need for pollination. And my little children's book, I talk about the importance of pollination for the survival of our planet. So we take this one thing that could be a weed that we want to get rid of, but it can also be this beautiful medicinal plant as well. So just take a few minutes, write some things down. If you want to put in the chat, great. If you want to just put on a piece of paper and have it be your private thing, that's fine too. And when you guys are done, if you just want to raise your hand or put the little emoji hand raise, that way I'll know you're done. But I want to make sure that I don't rush anybody. Okay, welcome to the people who just signed on. And just to give you a quick summary, we're writing down 3 to 5 terms that we were told growing up that planted a seed for us that became a limiting belief. And we have some ideas in the chat room that people have shared, but some of the ideas I shared with people is you're too loud, you're too bossy, you're too emotional, you're too sensitive, you're too ridiculous, you're too silly, you're too whatever, and to just really think about that. And I want us to write those down to recognize those beliefs that then we may have watered and cultivated throughout our life. And I just want to teach everybody a very simple strategy to turn those weeds into beautiful medicinal plants. It looks like few people are still writing, so I'll wait a little. I like the comments that you guys are sharing. Too angry. I had that all the time. You need to control your temper. You're too talkative. You're too loud. You're too opinionated. You're just like your mother. Okay. All right. It looks like I think everybody's done. Okay, so what I want to do now is everything's about perception in life. Perception is your reality. Take a glass. Now, this happens to be a perfect example. This is, sorry about that. I've got my virtual background on. The glass has the same amount of water in it, right? Some person may see it as half empty and another person may see it as half full. That's a very common one that we've all talked about. It's the exact same glass. So everything's about perception. So we can see something about ourselves as a weed or as a beautiful plant. And I think dandelions are quite pretty. And I remember being a child, loving picking them when I love picking them when they were pretty flat. I thought they were pretty little flowers and make my little dandelion bouquet and then make your little necklaces with the stems, or when they get dried out and you make a wish. So this thing that's a weed that people want to poison, you pick it up and it becomes a wish maker, a wish giver. And so isn't it so much about our perception? So what I want to do is take those messages that you were given growing up, that you cultivated and you fostered it, and it became the self-limiting belief. And I want you to tweak it. So I'm going to give you an example, and you may not need an example. You may be like, I know where she's going with this. I've got it. But for instance, you're too loud. What if, yes, I am loud and I am proud and I have a voice, because your voice is power. Words are power. Words are powerful because they can hurt, They're powerful because they can help. And if you have a loud voice, you can be the voice for the voiceless, for the vulnerable, and you can be their champion, right? So being loud is a fabulous superpower. It's such a powerful superpower. Remember, some of you may be old enough to remember the "I am woman, hear me roar." Remember that? Like, own that superpower. Um, let's see, what is another one? You are ridiculous. Well, if someone told me, I want to introduce you to my ridiculous friend, I'd be like, yes, can we go out and do something fun? Because if you're ridiculous, you are not afraid of being seen and looking silly and maybe making a fool of yourself. I love being with those people because they're going to get you on stage and sing karaoke because they take away the fear of inhibition. And when you can be with someone that gives you that gift, you oftentimes find yourself laughing so hard that your belly hurts. And when you laugh, your vibration just skyrockets to another level. So if you're ridiculous, share that superpower with the world. What is another one? You're too emotional. I had that a lot growing up. You're so emotional. You're so sensitive. Your temper, you need to calm it down. Well, you know what? That passion, doesn't that fuel us? It fuels us for so much. And you feel at such a deep level and you have that compassion and that empathy that you can connect on such a soul level with other people. That is a superpower and that is a gift. Are you guys kind of getting some ideas on where to take your lists? So now what I want you to do is take your list and I want you to take the things that you wrote down and make those weeds into a beautiful flower. And if you need help, if like, there's no way I can take this and make it great, then ask a question and I can give you ideas on how you can shift that and turn that around. Yes, a weird, unique, magical, and unafraid to be all of me. I love that. Loud, bold, passionate. Love that, Barb. Anger, passionate, compassionate, fuel for transformation in the world. Absolutely. Too quiet, speak louder. I sang that song when I finally started my creative at almost 15. Yeah. Too bad. If you're like this now, what will you be like as a teenager, right? Yeah. You're too adventurous. And oh my gosh, Tambra, I happen to know Tambra personally. And what a gift that has been for you in your life, that adventure, because Tambra has lived all over. She's lived in Japan and she's lived all over in the US and she's done some really interesting things. And I've traveled with her and she is always up for an adventure. Let me see if I see. Too argumentative, too controlling, unique, and different. Too organized. Oh my goodness, I need your help because I am not organized enough, too controlling. Too bossy. How many of you have been told you're too bossy? And you know what, you bossy ones, you are the natural born leaders and the mentors and the teachers. So I just invite you to own those superpowers and take that and just shift it in your mind. And I think Dr. Davia said that I have just a few minutes left. So I want to make sure that I want to allow you all to share, and because I need to zip it and share the platform with all of you. Anybody have something to share or magic or their experience? You certainly don't have to. Sometimes it's nice to not have to share. Yeah. Barb, do you have, you usually are pretty vocal. Do you have anything to share or any thoughts that came forward for you?
I'm loving this. I think this is fantastic. I like that too. Something I was told too is not by my family, but my jewel team instructor. She was very adamant that I was too fat. I needed to lose weight. And then, so I was like, okay, I'll just eat one apple a day. Awful. It's terrible for self-esteem. But then I turned that into, you know what? I'm gonna own my curves. I love my curves.
Yes.
I'm a curvy woman and I love it. And you know what? I have a husband who loves my curves too. And you know what? I don't even before I loved my curves. So whatever.
I love that. I love that. I think my generation, it was all about being so skinny, stick thin, and it created such a mind mess up. And what I like about it, it seems like the younger generation now, the 20s and 30s, they're owning their curves. And I love it. I love going on Facebook and seeing these beautiful women that they look amazing and they own it. And you can tell that they rock that swimming suit. And I love seeing that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I had the same thing with Barb with the fat thing, and I turned it into strong body.
I love that. Yeah. Healthy and strong.
Right. Yeah. Because I was told, oh, you're big boned. And so I turn it into like running, like it's a strong body. Like you can't be frail and be a leader of the world. And you know what? I need this big body to show the world.
Exactly. I love that. Too much of a dreamer. Weed heck of a dream. Yes, I love that, Jazz Lenny. Too much of a dreamer. And it's the dreamers of the world that are the change makers, the dreamers of the world that are the artists and can just visualize. And I know some of you do like the magic with Darla DeLu. You know, I think like some of the magic, the recognition magic is because you can see you're a dreamer and you can visualize something before it even happens. Absolutely. Love that. And I think, am I out of time, Dr. Davia? Big boned, yes, same messages. Yeah.
You have 1 minute, Cristal.
Oh, good. Okay. Yeah, okay. I like that, what you said, Kelly. There's something about needing the extra body because of the power I'm tapping into using at the time. Yeah, I mean, aren't those wonderful ways to just shift that? I love that. And you know what? You can shift that and you say, you know what? I'm going to own my curves. You know what? I'm going to go have that cheese with my wine or that ice cream sundae, and I am going to enjoy it. And I know when we then come from that frame of mind, oftentimes we don't continue to get big. It just becomes perfect. And we enjoy the, I don't know, just food. Can you share what we can find? Cristal, can you share where we can find you? And yes, thank you. You're too skinny, you're anorexic. That's true. Right, Dr. Divya, you're too little. You know what? Sometimes maybe it's okay to be little. It's okay to be whatever we are. Wonder Woman weighs too much. And you know what? One other thing I want to tell you guys, and I'm going to answer your question, Jeslenny. I want you to take your new transformed dandelion into a beautiful medicinal property and do the power poses that Teresa talked about yesterday. And I love my curves and I am loud and I am proud of your power poses with it. And that really embeds it. And you can do the tapping that Brittany talked about and do that too. You're like, I'm loud and I'm proud and I'm the voice for the voiceless. Embed that in, do your power poses, and you can create absolute magic and knock down those self-limiting beliefs. I wanted to, Jeslenny said, where can you find me? Thank you, Jeslenny. I am at operationtransformationbooks.com. I'm also on Instagram and Facebook, Operation Transformation Books. My email is, I can maybe type that in real quick if that helps.
Yeah, Cristal, feel free to put it in the chat.
Okay, and I think my minute's up. So thank you guys for hanging in there and coming after lunch. I'm used to working with high schoolers, and after lunch, the high schoolers are like, so it's so like working with grown-ups, you're awake. Like, I don't have to do backflips to get your attention. So thank you for your time and energy. I can't wait to see your flowers and all the stuff that you create.
Love the energy, love the turning the limiting beliefs into superpowers. Yeah, thank you so much. Our next